also was talking to Alan, and he said that there was a scene they wanted to do in this that then had to get cut because it somehow overlapped with Avengers 2.
What was the scene?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you. I thought you might have been the person who cut it.
There were certainly scenes that we filmed that didn't make the final cut.
Well, sure.
I don't, as there always is.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of them specifically being cut because they somehow overlapped with Avengers 2. The storyline for this film was written long before Avengers 2 was written.
Yeah.
So it sort of was forging its own territory.
Have you ever had to do that kind of jump in and be like, no, you can't do this
Sure,
later on?
Sure, but that usually happens in the development process when we're putting the script together.
Yeah.
And more likely it happens the other way, that we'll have an idea that could service the next movie, or we're developing the next movie and it gives us an idea of something we could do in the one we're working on now.
Oh, I see.
So it's usually additive as opposed to, don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that there's stuff in this that is setting stuff up that we don't know that's coming yet. Like, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep the lid on that when you're like, I can't tell you why you should have Loki say this thing, but it's going to matter later on.
Well, with the filmmakers, we share everything and we
Yeah.
tell them where those things are going. Part of the fun of an Easter egg to me is not just being able to recognize something that's come before, but there are Easter eggs in movies that people won't recognize as Easter eggs until all the future movies are finished.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the fun of sort of this cinematic universe building.
With the rumors that are constantly out there, there's always, we know things that aren't confirmed by Marvel.com officially. Do you ever lose track of like what is actually official
Sometimes.
and what?
Sometimes.
Isn't it your only job to keep track of like who am I supposed to be believing at this point?
Yes. But it's there's so many rumors and there's so many stories every day.
Yeah.
Many of them are way, way off. Some of them are close. But what gives me solace is usually the biggest surprises and the biggest secrets we have are not amongst those rumors. So
Yeah, there's
that
some
makes
really
me
good
happy.
surprises in this that I obviously
Yes.
am not going to reveal, but I was really impressed by managing to keep that secret because it's not easy.
No, and it's, we have a very close-knit group, and the crews that we work with now, we've worked with on multiple movies, and I think everybody sort of likes the idea of these surprises,
Yeah.
and we had a major twist in Iron Man 3 this summer that, if it had gotten out, might have ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we were very thankful that didn't happen.
Well, you and J.J. Abrams are kind of sort of under the same umbrella with Marvel and Star Wars being kind of both under Disney. Do you ever, like, his model of keeping secrets is a little bit different. Like, it's much more rigorous. Like, do you ever look at what he's doing and kind of try to get yourself on a different path than that, or is it not that plan?
I wouldn't say it's that plan. We certainly have a very heavy-duty security system at Marvel and security procedures at Marvel. I don't know exactly if that overlaps with the way that JJ does it. But part of the key to keeping a secret is people not being aware that you have a secret. So the less we talk about it, the better.
Well, that was the cool thing about Iron Man 3 is
Yeah.
it's such a fake out, which
Yes.
it was an impressive setup to make that possible, to have everyone looking one direction and then you
Yes.
pull something in the
Yes.
same direction.
Yeah, even if there had been rumors that there was a twist in the movie, that would have potentially spoiled it.
Yeah.
So I was very happy that everyone from the marketing department at Disney to, of course, all of the team members at Marvel and all the cast members, and in particular Sir Ben, who's masterful at giving interviews and never lying to anybody, but never divulging the true
That's
the
something
true
you're
truth.
good at too. Maybe he learned from you.
Right.
Obviously, you don't want to give away the after credit scenes in this, but what's interesting is now everyone expects there to be an after credit scene.
Right.
I wonder if you guys were ever tempted to like not do one or have like the one at the end of the Avengers was kind of more of a joke than anything,
Yeah.
which was cool. Like
Yeah.
how do you try and change that up so everyone's not just like, oh well, here we go, it's set up for the next thing.
Well, it's we do not say, oh, we have to have one, so let's think of one. If we have an idea, whether it's them sitting around eating shawarma as a joke, or Tony Stark talking to Bruce Banner, giving the voiceover context for Iron Man 3, or the tag in this film, which very directly pays off something from the movie people have just watched and sets up a movie to come.
Yeah.
It does always vary, and we won't just do it just to do it. Sometimes it'll just be a visual gag, and sometimes it'll be a universe building element.
Yeah, the universe building stuff is tough because like I saw the Avengers and I was like, oh, it was that guy. Like I
Yes.
had no idea what it was.
Yes.
So for people who haven't read the comics, it's like, but then you get the shawarma, so it's like something for everybody,
Right.
maybe.
Well, and what has served us well, starting with Iron Man 1, when Sam Jackson showed
Yeah.
up at the end of those credits, even if you didn't know who Nick Fury was, you might know who Sam Jackson is, and people go, what was he doing in the eye patch, or who? And there's always, my theory is, there's always somebody in the theater that can tell you who it is, and that gets the conversation going.
You get everyone talking in the lobby.
Exactly.